Welcome to tip number 23. So a lot of you guys have often got some questions about creating great video content and also the strategy behind that video content. So Anika, why don't you chat us through your top 3 tips to really nailing that strategy?
Absolutely. So tip number 1 would be to plan in advance. So this is where a lot of people fall down. They might book in with a content creator, so they'll book Eat Media to come and do their shoot, and then you turn up and everyone's like, right, what are we going to shoot today? You're not, although Tim's amazing, you're not going to get quite a bit as much value out of that shoot than if you had planned in advance.
For sure.
Yeah, so like everything that we do, whether it's my shoots or these strategic tips, is planned well in advance.
Yep.
And that's how we make sure that we nail the messaging and actually make the video as engaging as possible.
For sure. Little shout out to Notion.
100% Notion.
So good,
yeah,
so handy.
Great collaborative tool. If any of you are like wanting to plan something like a video shoot or wanting to write meeting notes for your business, then Notion's a really cool tool to use.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that it's kind of quite basic.
It is.
In its
just like
nature.
typing on a white page.
Yeah. Hang on, I use dark mode. Is it not a black page for you?
It's white page for me, so that's cool. There you go. Are you dark mode on all your devices?
Oh, yeah, but this is my wife's iPad, so
well, there
it's
you go.
white mode on there.
Yeah, of course Jess is light and white mode like me.
I'm the dark one. So that's a sneaky little sub tip. Get on board Notion for planning a strategy.
Yeah, 100%.
But, so plan in advance.
Yeah, plan in advance. Number 2 would be know your niche. So don't just do a video that's talking about how great you are. Although that might make sense to you, it's going to fall short. Your audience are going to scroll straight past if you're just trying to promote how wonderful you are or how great your service is.
For sure.
It's more about understanding who your target audience is, identifying what they care about the most, and then working out a video that speaks to that. So whether it's adding value, educating them, or if it's just identifying a problem that they experience that they'd like to solve, that you can solve for them. For example, creating engaging videos for social media to advertise your business. So knowing your niche is really important. Don't just go bulldozing into creating a video that sings your praises. Have a think about what your audience really cares about.
And is that good to every now and again have some of that, like testimonial style
100%.
videos?
Yeah.
Just not your main strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And arguably testimonials are still adding value because they're showing what other people think about your business.
Yep. And finding, I guess it varies from business to business. Some it might be quite obvious. I think finding, like if I was to create content, I know my niche audience should be businesses that want to create content or individuals, but in order to make a video content strategy around that, it's been tricky because I guess I've done some like filming tips, but then is that going to appeal to someone else that's filming that's not going to use me?
Yes.
Or does it say to my audience, oh, he obviously knows how to use equipment, maybe I trust him instead of someone else that I've never seen before?
Yeah, and we've spoken about this before, and it's probably a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B, because if you're sharing filming tips, it's definitely going to help to educate your audience as a whole about the fact that you know a lot about filming. But your target audience is someone who doesn't even want to think about the filming. So they're like, I don't know what HDR means. Just film it for me and send me the video. And so in that sense, it's more about what problems you can solve for that sort of client. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to incorporate some of those educational tips that are for content creators or maybe social media managers. This is the other thing, is that part of your audience will have some knowledge in that space. So I think sharing that sort of content is good. Probably just creating different content pillars. Back to tip 21. Content pillars, making sure that you share a range of different types of content, ticking all of those different boxes. And you might even decide that you've got a few different niches.
Yeah, right. There you go. Discovering niches along the way.
Tip number 3, I would advise to keep it short and sweet.
Yep.
So this is something that Tim and I battle with a lot with these tips because we've got so much to say. But
hence why we've evolved into YouTube and longer form.
And let us know, guys. We'd really like to know what you think of these longer form videos because we've got so much value that we want to give that it's hard to condense it into a 15-second reel.
Oh my gosh, I know. And it can be stifling as well because it's such a short window, and you know that people's attention span when they're on that platform, they don't want to stick around for long.
No.
Whereas if you're willing to sit back and dive into it, you probably need to leave that platform.
100%.
So, yeah, love to know what you think.
Yeah, but if you're a business owner and you're wanting to capture people's attention on social media while they're scrolling, so advertising on social media normally means capturing someone who's not even looking for your service at that point in time. They're just on their break and they're just scrolling through their phone. So if you want to capture someone's attention, then the general rule of thumb is the first 3 seconds of your reel need to be super engaging. Otherwise they will scroll straight past because our attention span is so short. But also just keep the entire reel short because people don't have a lot of time. So you need to try and work out a way to deliver your message in, say, 15 seconds or less, which is challenging, and that's why you might need to look at talking to a strategist or even just talking to someone like yourself, a content creator who can work out how to actually cut that message down in a way that will be well received by the audience as opposed to them just scrolling straight past.
Yeah, for sure. Or just create a 15-second reel, send people off to YouTube and let it go as long as you like.
And just talk the leg off a chair.
Excellent. Well, I think you're right. You've got to nail that strategy. And some people, I know working with you, you love to think about your strategy. You love to come up with your real ideas, and it comes naturally to you, which you must love. A lot of people don't have necessarily the creative mind in that area to think of it, or they just don't want to allow that time for that kind of thinking. So people can always reach out to someone like yourself for ideas, or to me. I assume they can reach out to you. Of course. You're at capacity, but...
No, but people, I've always say in my messages, people can always reach out to me. I'm really happy to point people in the right direction. If you have an idea if you want some help with coming up with an idea for your reels, I've got a good library of reels that I can share with people too, which I'm really happy to do. And that is another tip, if I can sneak in a tip 3.5, would be scroll for some inspo, because there is a lot of inspiration out there. And if you're a business owner and you're scrolling and you're seeing other businesses producing reels, then you might see some cool ideas that you can adapt for your own purposes.
Awesome. Well, there you go. That is how you nail your video strategy.